Hello, dear students. Today we are taking the topic motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line. So first of all, we understand about the what is the motion. So motion is the general thing in the universe, and motion broadly can be classified into two categories, as we study in the physical world chapter. And these two type of the motion, one is the natural motion, and another is the unnatural motion. And natural motion include the motion of the planets around the suns and motion of the moon around the earth and the motion of the sun itself in a Milky Way, and Milky Way also moving with the group of galaxies and motion and the formation of the day night and air going in and out, going into the lungs and out from the lungs, and blowing air, leaving falling of the leaves from the trees and falling of the water in the dam. So these phenomena are natural phenomena, and each example has the property of the motion. Similar fashion, the second type of motion is the unnatural motion. Human type activity, likewise the walking, speaking, playing, ridings, and automobile motions and plane motion. Suppose a plane is carrying the passenger from the one position to the another positions. So all these are comes under the category of the motion. So one thing is the common in all the motions, that is movement. That is movement. So how can we define the motion? So objects are in the motion if their position is changing with respect to the time. So motion is defined as the change in the position with respect to the time. So here first of all we will define the motion term. First of all, we will define the motions. Okay. First of all, we will define the motion term. Okay. So our topic is motion. Motion in a straight line. Okay. We can write it. Motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight lines. In the motion chapter, first of all, we define the what is the motion. What is the motion? Objects. Okay, which will define the simple word. The change in the position of the particle or object with respect to the time. With respect to the time is called motion. In this chapter, we shall confine to ourselves. We shall confine to ourselves to a straight line motion or rectilinear motion. Straight line motion or rectilinear motions. So how this position of the object is changing with respect to the time. So to understand the answer of these questions, we will understand this chapter in the detail. So first term we use to understand the chapter, that is the kinematics. kinematics. And kinematics is the branch of the science in which we deal the study of the study of the motions without considering the factors, cause the motion. Okay, so we will write here the definitions. It is a branch of science. It is the branch of the science in which we deals about the motion, without considering the factors causes the motions. And also one thing is very important, that is in this motion, to understand the motions, we always assume the particle size is very small compared to the distance traveled by the object. So one is very common thing, the size of the object. The size of the object is very small, compared to the distance traveled. Okay, so for the study purpose, we always use the object as a point object. For study purpose, we always choose the object as a point object. Okay, so to understand how the position of the particle changes, we use the various type of terms. One term is kinematics, and kinematics include the various terms. That is the one term is the reference point, or reference frame. Second, position, path, length, displacement, and this is the velocity. This velocity may be average velocity or maybe instantaneous velocity. Similarly, the acceleration may be and this acceleration may be average acceleration and the instantaneous acceleration. Instantaneous acceleration, this is known as the jerk, and instantaneous acceleration is known as the jerk. Is the jerk. And another term in this chapter we study, that is the relative velocity. And the plots, various type of the plots, that will be the xt plot, vt plot, and at plot, and ax plot, and vx plot, etc. Okay, so first of all, we will take the topic, and this topic will be the reference point. First topic is the reference point, reference point, reference point. It's the point. Reference point is defined as the point with respect to the position of the particle is defined. With respect to the position of the particle is defined. It is the point with respect to position of the object or particle. Position of the object or particle is measured in the measure. Okay, we already studied about the measurement in the chapter units and the measurement chapter. The physical quantity having the one numerical value and another is the standard quantity, and that is known as the unit. So it is a the earlier chapter is very useful to measure the physical quantities, and that will help, that quantity will help us to understand this chapter. So it is the point with respect to position of the particle is measured. Also, in Cartesian coordinate form, if we use rectangular coordinate, if we use rectangular coordinate, if we use rectangular coordinate x, y, z, the intersection point of these three mutually perpendicular axes, these three mutually perpendicular axes is the origin or reference point. Taken as the reference point. Okay, the intersection point of these three the intersection point of these three mutual perpendicular axes is the origin or reference point, Okay, so we will draw here these axes. Okay, this one, another this one. Okay, so x, this is the y, and this is represent the minus y, and this line is minus x. The intersection point of these three mutually perpendicular axes, suppose this is the z axis and it is always perpendicular to the plane of the paper, and this point is 0. So this is positive, another is going in this direction, that is the negative, that is the minus z axis. So this point is the reference point, and this frame is known as the reference frame. Okay, this point is reference point, and also the reference frame. Reference frame are of two types. Reference frame are of two types. One is the stationary frame and another is the moving frame. Stationary frame and second is the moving frame. Stationary frame is the ground frame, always taken as the stationary frame, and moving frame, that means any body which is moving with respect to the ground is taken as the moving frame. Okay, now the next term to understand the motion, we define the position. of the particle is very important point, that is the position. Position. So position, it is the coordinate point with respect to the reference point. It is the coordinate point. It is the coordinate point. Coordinate point. Coordinate point with respect to the reference point. With respect to the reference point. If particle position is does not change with respect to the time, that means particle is at the rest condition. Rest conditions. Okay. To understand the position, we will draw a line. Okay. So how the position of the particle will define with respect to the reference point. Suppose this is the measurement, this line contains the measurement of the length. This is the positive 10 meter. This is the positive 20 meter plus 30 meter. And this is in the positive direction, and this is in the negative direction. And this direction of minus 10, minus 20, and minus 30. Suppose the particle is at the position of the, so particle is here. So position of this particle will be OA, and OA is equal to the 20 meter. So a particle, B particle is here. What is the position of the particle with respect to the, this is the minus 20 meters. So in this way, we measure the position of the particle with respect to the reference frame. Reference frame. Now we will define. Okay, so position can be negative and positive with respect to the origin. So one important point is position can be positive or negative with respect to the reference frame. With respect to the reference frame. With respect to the reference frame. Okay, another important point, position can be one dimension, and one dimension position, one dimension, two dimension, and the three dimension position. For the one dimension, we represent generally for one dimension. For one dimension, we generally represent in the form of the x. Suppose we are taking only x direction, so x comma 0, 0, and if the plane is 2D plane, so we can write also or x comma 0. In the or another form, in the 0 comma y comma 0, and or 0 comma y. In the similar fashion, in the z direction, 0 comma 0 comma z, or okay, so this is the third coordinate in this form we define. Okay, so in this way we can define for two dimension we can write x comma y comma 0. So third coordinate will always be 0. So third coordinate will always be 0 in the two-dimensional, and in the three-dimensional motions we can represent x comma y comma z. X comma y comma z. Okay, so but here in this chapter we confine to only one-dimensional motions. So motion only in the forward direction, or motion in the backward directions, or motion in the upward directions, or motion in the downward directions. Next term is very important term, that is the displacement, and displacement is defined as the change in the position. The change in the position is changing with respect to the time. So this change in the position, the change in the position is called displacement. So displacement is defined by the change in the position. So we can write it delta x equal to the, suppose particle is motion in the direction of the x, so we can write x2 minus x1, and this suppose is the reference point. Initially the particle at the point x1 and finally it reaches at the point of the x2, the point of the x2. So we can write here, so we measure distance from this origin, this is the x1 distance, and this distance is x2 distance. So difference of these two distance will be the, this is the difference, that will be the x2 minus x1. If this point x2 not here and x2 is here, so we will write here, so we can write it, this displacement in terms of the x2 is greater, so we will write x1 minus x2, but displacement always refer to the difference of the final position minus initial position. Final position minus initial position. Initial position. Initial position. So if x2 is greater than x1, then delta x will be the positive. But if x2 is less than x1, delta x become the negative. So displacement can be positive and can be negative. Displacement can be positive and can be negative. So what is the displacement? A particle is traveled from O to A and then B. Example, if particle travel from O to A, then A to B. A to B. So what is the displacement? So displacement is defined by the final position xf minus xi always. So what is the final position? Final position is B position. This is the B position, initial position is 0 position. Okay, so we will write in minus 20 minus 0 is equal to the minus 20 meter. So displacement is defined as the shortest path, shortest distance. Some important features of the displacement is it is shortest distance. It is shortest distance between 2 points, shortest distance. Another thing, SI unit is meter and dimension is L, and dimension is L, and dimension is L. Okay, and it is a vector quantity. Another thing is vector quantity. Next term we use, that is the path length. Path length. Path length defined as the total length covered by the particle in the given reasonable time or period. It is defined as the total distance traveled by the particle, or we can also use the object in a given time interval. Okay, so in the earlier example, in this example, if we write find distance, if particle travel from O to A, then A to B. So what is the path length? So path length here will be the different path length. Distance from O to A, then plus A to B. This is the sum. So O to A is distance is O to A. This is 20. This is the 20, and distance from A to B. A to B. This is the 20, also 20, and this distance is 20, so 40 plus 40. The distance traveled will be the 60 meter. So one common thing is that path length is always positive. Path length is always positive. Path length always positive. Path length always positive. But displacement can be positive, can be negative, or zero. So we can write also one point is that the displacement can be zero. Okay. If displacement is zero, it not necessary that path length should also be zero. But if distance travel is zero, then displacement will also be zero. Okay. Always path length always greater than and equal to the displacement. Path length is always greater than or equal to the displacement. Then the unit and dimension is same of the displacement. Okay, now we are taking the new topic, that is the average velocity. Average velocity. Average velocity. Average velocity. Okay. Average velocity is defined as the ratio of the change in the position to the time taken to this change, or the rate of change of the velocity of the rate of change of the position is called the average velocity. Or in the another form, we can also define it. It is the ratio of the displacement and the time period. Okay, so we will write first the definitions. It is the it is the with the position change, and we can write it simply displacement to the time interval. Suppose it t equal to the t1 position is t1 position x1, and it t equal to t2 position x2 of the particle. So we can write the average velocity x2 minus x1 divided by the t2 minus t1, and the unit of this is always written in meter per second. This is the SI unit, and or dimension is the LT minus 1. This is the dimension of the average velocity. So what is the average velocity in the earlier example? What is the average velocity in the earlier example? Okay. What is the average velocity in the earlier example? Suppose a car is moving from point O to A to B, and B to C into different time interval. Example A, car is moving from O to A to B, and B to C in time interval 2 second, 4 second, and 8 second. 8 second. Find average velocity in each interval time. Find average velocity in each interval of time. In each interval of time. Okay. So answer these questions, and also given that this is the line, straight line along which this motion is happen. This is the origin points. This is the plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, and plus 40. And here is the minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, and minus 40. Initial the particle at the origins, and this is the O point, is the O reference, and this is the point plus is A point, and this is the B point, and this is the C point, and this is the D points. So first answer will be from A to B, O to A. So average velocity defined by the final position minus initial position upon the time at A minus time at the 0. Okay, so from O to A is traveling 2-second interval. So we will write here XA. What the XA is 20 and X naught is 0 upon the 2 second. So 20 upon the 2, this comes out to be 10 meter per second. In the second, V bar is equal to the A to B. So XB minus XA upon the time interval. That is the, we can also write it delta X upon the delta T. Delta X upon the delta T. Okay, this is the TB minus TA is equal to XB. So XB is 40 minus XA is 20 upon the time interval is 4. This is the 20 upon the 40 equal to the 5 meter per second. Third is B to C. So XC minus XB upon the C minus TB is equal to the, what the C position is minus 30 and B position is the minus 40 upon the TC, and TC is TC minus TB, that is the 8 second. That is the 8 second. So 8 second, this will the 8 is equal to the minus 70 by the 8 and minus 30 by the 4. Further we solve it, so we will get a approximately this is the 8 point and 75 meter per second is negative. So it is also concluded that the velocity can be positive and the negative. Velocity can be positive and the negative. We are taking the another example. Suppose a particle is moving. Suppose a particle is moving in a circular path. In a circular path. Okay. Suppose particle moving in a circular path. In a circular path, and radius of path is r. So find the distance and displacement. So we can choose any arbitrary points. If particle travels, suppose in the clockwise directions, and again reach to the same point. So displacement become 0 because initial and the final position is the same point, but the distance traveled with the perimeter of this circle. So this becomes the 2 pi r. 2 pi r. Okay. Suppose another example. We are taking another example. The particle moving the half circle. This is a half circle. Okay. This radius is r. So what is the, suppose particle start the motion from the point A and end the motion at the point B. So what is the distance? What is the distance? That will be the distance traveled. The half perimeter and displacement equal to the 2r. Displacement will be the 2r. Displacement will be the 2r. Displacement will be the 2r. Okay. Next term we define, that is the average speed. Average speed. Average speed. What is the average speed? So average speed is defined as the total path length traveled divided by the total time interval during which the motion has taken place. It is the ratio of the total path travels in the given time periods upon the total time period. It is defined as the total path length to the total time taken to travel this distance. So this is also denoted by the v, and this is the total path length, and this is the total time. Okay, this is the total time. So we can classify, we can create the difference between the, so we can understand the difference between the average speed and the average velocity. So one main thing is about the average speed is that it is always positive, because total path length is always positive. So it always positive quantity. It is always positive. Similarly, if path is greater than or equal to the displacement, similarly it is the average speed. Average speed is always greater than or equal to the average velocity. When the particles are moving in the same directions, then the average speed and average velocity will be same. Average speed and average velocity will be same. Okay, and the unit of the average speed and average velocity we have understood in the chapter number 2, that is the units and the measurement, that is the meter per second, and the dimension is LT minus 1. LT minus 1. Okay. So calculation of the average velocity or the speed when particle moving in the same direction. So next topic is the calculation of the average speed or average velocity when particle moving in the same direction. Okay, so case number 1, travel different distance in equal time interval. Travel different different distance in equal time interval. Different distance in equal time interval. That means, suppose this is the path of the motion, and particle start from the point A, and this is the final point B. Suppose this is the total distance x, and particle reach a travel distance x1, and within the time interval of t, and another x2 in another time interval t, because time is given the same. So what is the average velocity? So total distance, this is the x upon the total time, is the t, this is the x1 plus x2. Okay, x1 plus x2, and time is given same, so t plus t. Okay, t plus t. So x1 we can write here vt. x1 we can write here vt, because the formula is v is equal to the, suppose x by t, so we can write x equal to the vt. We can write it x equal to the vt. If particle traveling only in the y directions, then the y equal to the vt. Y equal to vt, and displacement, this we can write here delta x equal to the v bar delta t. Okay, so this is the x1 and x2 equal to the v. Is the, suppose in this period the velocity is v1, and in this period the velocity is v2. So v1 and this is v2, and this is time t. So v bar is equal to the v1 t plus v2 t upon the t1 plus t2. This becomes 2 times, so v1 plus v2 by 2. This is the average velocity. A particle travel two different distance with the two different speeds or velocity. So the average velocity is given by the v1 plus v2 by 2. Two different distance with two different velocity, but time interval is same. Case number 2. Case number 2. Particle travel equal distance with different speed. Different speed. Suppose this is the starting point and this is the ending point B. Okay. Total distance is suppose x, and traveled equal distance. Suppose this is the x by 2, and another distance is also be x by 2. And velocity in this is v1 and in the velocity v2. Suppose time taken is t1 and the other time taken is t2. Time taken is t2. Okay. Time taken is t2. So we will write is v equal to the total distance x upon the time taken t1 plus t2. But t1 is equal to the x by 2 upon the v1. That means x by 2 v1. Similarly, t2 equal to the x by 2 v2. When we substitute these two values, we will get x upon the x by 2 v1 plus x by 2 v2. Okay, so 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2, and these two terms comes out to be here. Further solving, we will get the 2 by v bar is equal to the 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2, or here we can write it v1 v2 upon the v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2. And this case, the question on this case is when a person going from home to the office with speed v1 and again reaches to the home with speed v2. So distance is same, but time may be different, and velocity or speed may be different. So asked in the question that what is the average speed? So we can calculate this speed by the use of this formula is 2v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. And in many times this expression has been asked in the examinations, what is the average velocity relationship between the v1 v2 and the average. This will be the okay. Thank you.